know how this works? Hey, what's up? Now welcome to this channel called the Unported Show, where I've had different forms of interviews and done podcasts over the past few episodes and the past few videos that I've published on this channel. But now I want to do something different. I want to talk a little bit more about the motorsport industry. And to begin with, I want to talk about my favorite subject, which is Formula One. It is considered to be one of the epitomes of motorsport racing. It is considered to be the toughest races that drivers go through. A lot of technical aspects, a lot of mechanical aspects that are associated with it, which makes it even more interesting. Now, to begin with, to understand Formula One, you need to understand that there are 20 drivers that are on the grid and there are 10 teams who fight for the championship. But in Formula One, there are two different forms of championship. The first is the Constructors' Championship and the second is the Drivers' Championship. So in the Constructors is the team where the team basically wins the championship, and the Drivers' Championship is where the individual driver wins it. So now when you see these championships and how exactly they go, in each team there are two drivers that represent the team. So this basically means that for the driver, his biggest rival is his own teammate. It's Formula One, right? Formula One is divided into three different parts, which is a practice session, a qualifying, and the main race. So a practice session is a pretty self-explanatory time where the drivers and the teams need to go to the track, understand the technical aspects behind the car, see how the tire degradations work, how the track is, where there's an opportunity of an overtake. So now we move down to the second part, which is a little bit more interesting, which is the qualifying part. This is where the drivers drive the car to the limit because they need to do that. They need to put in the fastest lap so that they can set the starting grid position. These positions are decided based on their performance on the qualifying day. So qualifying is also divided in three parts, which is Q1, Q2, and Q3. And like I said earlier, there are 20 drivers. So in the Q1, there are all 20 drivers who participate in it. And the 15 of them who are the fastest move to Q2, and the top 10 move to Q3. As you proceed with Q1, 2, and 3, the remaining ones who are disqualified start from the back end. Now this just makes their race more difficult. Now Q3 comes, which is my favorite time to see the best of the drivers or the best of the teams who drive the fastest to fight for the pole position. Now a pole position generally means is the driver who would be fronting the grid and who's going to start the race. And he has the potential of setting up the pace, putting in the fastest lap during the race, and while also winning the championship. Now moving on to the main event, which is the race. Now the race is one of the most chaotic events that you can think of. There are teams going there are a lot of managements going there, a lot of interviews. You see the racers in that laser focused moment who are fighting to get the maximum points to win the world championship. Now, points are not only given to the drivers who are finishing top 3. Rather, the points are given to drivers who finish in top 10. Now, here's the point structure, how it works. The maximum points that is scored by the driver and his teammate is awarded to the team. So basically, the best teams that you see on the grid need to have their car finishing in top 10 so that they can maximize their opportunities in winning the world championship. These are just some of the topics that are associated with Formula One. And right now in 2021, when these regulations were introduced related to the sprint qualifying session and also changes in the car, it has just made the sport even more interesting. I want to talk about all of this in my upcoming videos. So make sure that you subscribe to this channel, you like this video, and you may also click the bell icon to look out for the best notification and when is the new video coming next. Plus, the bell icon would also allow me to be more motivated in putting more videos for you. And while speaking of that, you can also catch up the previous podcast episodes, and you can also catch them on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and the links are in the bio of this video as well. Thank you so much.